We will start nice and easy. For the first few exercises, you will need a wall to put your legs to. And for the more advanced exercises, you might need a yoga belt or a t-shirt or something that can help you reach, for example, a foot, in case you can't reach completely or comfortably. So for the first pose, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to walk the hips a little closer, or as close as comfortable towards the heels. We're going to grab the feet, lift through your chest, roll the shoulders back, soft and long on the back of the neck, straight through the top of your head. And we're going to take long and deep breaths here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Nice and long breaths. Comfortable breaths. For the next pose, let's do this one first. I'm going to come closer to the wall. And then we're going to lie back and take the legs to the wall. You want your hips to be as close to the wall as it is comfortable. And you want your legs as possible to be straight. Or let's say that the legs are straight and then you can place the distance from hips to the wall as close as it is comfortable, maintaining the legs straight. And the arms can rest out to the sides. And we're going to relax here and take long, deep breaths. We're going to be here for just about a minute. For the next posture, we're going to bend the legs to the knees and we're going to place the feet on the wall. Try to, as you bring your feet down towards the floor, you might notice your sacrum lifting off the ground. Try to ground it into the floor. And the feet kind of want to be just a little wider than your hips. Just also for about a minute. And for our last pose on the wall, or using the wall, we're going to take the legs up, and then we're going to separate the legs into a split. Extend very gently through your heels. We also take this pose for about a minute. And carefully come out of the pose. So for all these 4 poses we've just done, I would really recommend that you do them for a little bit longer. 3 minutes, maybe even 5, or even sometimes 10 minutes can be really good. If you're going for a long time, make sure that you're used to them, because sometimes you can injure yourself if you're not prepared to hold it for such a long time. Now we're going to sit on the heels, and we're going to separate the knees, and then we're going to bring the hands to the floor. We're going to fold, and then we're going to lower the head to the floor and rest. Going to be here for about 5 breaths. And then pressing through the hands, we're going to inhale to lift. And we're going to walk the hands to the left. And the right sitting bone across the other side wants to stay down. So we're going to press that right sitting bone down to the heels. And we're going to place the right hand on top of the left. So we're now getting a nice stretch across the sides of the trunk. Now we're taking the hands to the right. A little bit of weight on that left sitting bone. And then left hand on top of the right hand. And then carefully come back to center and up. For the next one, we're going to come on hands and knees. Now, keep your hips over your knees and start to walk your hands forward. So try to keep your hips in place. Walk your hands all the way. Turn the biceps towards the sky and lower the chest and rest the forehead on the floor. So for this pose, the weight remains on the hands and the arms remain straight. And then as you inhale, press through your hands, lift your chest, walk your hands back. And then ease out through the pose. Then, again on hands and knees, we're going to extend the legs, coming onto the balls of the feet. And then we're going to send the body back. Send the hips up. Very similar stretch to the chest. Very similar pose. But now we're on the feet. On the knees. Relax your head. We're going to walk on the spot. So one heel goes down as the other goes up. Nice stretch in your calves and the backs of your legs. And then switch. Then we walk the hands to the feet or feet to the hands. It doesn't matter, we end up in the same place. Standing on our feet, folding forward. To make it a little easier, bend your knees and then you'll be able to connect your belly to your thighs. And then use the hands to give you a little bit of support if you feel like you need to, either on the floor, perhaps on your shins. And to give a little bit of extra extension or extension to the back of to the upper back and the neck, gently relax your head down. If you're fine here without support of your hands, then you can hold elbows. Couple more nice and long breaths. And then slowly bring yourself up to stand. Now we're going to step to the right side of the mat. We're going to look to the side. We're going to step the right leg back. So look into the side. We're going to bend the left leg. We're going to take a big step with the right leg. So having your front leg, your right leg bend, tracking right over your heel, and see that it's reaching kind of like towards the outer feet, towards the outer toes. Back leg nice and long. See if you can walk it back a little further, and see if you can sink your hips down just a little bit more. Lengthen your tailbone towards the floor. Lift your pubic bone. Lift your chest. Turn the chest to the side. And then float your arms by your side. And then very gently reach. And as you reach your fingers, see that you're feeling the stretch coming out the front of your chest. And then very carefully, we're going to turn the head to the side, towards the bent leg. Release your arms, take your right leg a little bit closer so that you can, whenever you're ready, step it forward. And let's go to the other side of the mat and do the same the other way. Bend the left leg, take the right leg back. The knee kind of directing towards the outer toes, right over your heel, tailbone down, pubic bone lifting. If you can, take a little tiny steps with the right leg. Turn the chest, float your arms and gently reach. And carefully, perhaps turn your head. Release your arms, walk your right leg a little closer, and then take a step. Let's do the same pose again. So we go to the other side of the mat, bend your knees, and right leg steps. Sorry, left leg steps. Extend the arms, and then we're going to lean towards the bent leg. And option number 1, rest your forearm on the thigh. Option number 2, reach your fingers towards the floor. Turn the chest and extend the top arm to the ceiling with your fingers. And take a couple of deep breaths. If you want, you can turn your head to the sky. Keep the shape of the legs. With an inhalation, come up. And with an exhalation, step. If you want, take a little step before. Now we go to the left side of the mat. We bend the left leg and we step the right leg. With an exhalation, either the forearm rests on the thigh or the fingers reach to the floor. And then from here we press through the fingers and reach the top arm towards the sky. And the top shoulder gently back. And then maybe we look to the palm, to the lifted palm. With an inhalation, we bring the trunk up. And with an exhalation, we step. Let's do one more standing. We go to the right. And then we do the same procedure. Left leg back. And then we extend the right leg. As you extend the right leg, keep the guide of your knee. So make sure the center of your knee is still pointing towards the outer toes. So your inner thigh wants to reach forward and the outer thigh wants to reach back. You extend the arms, you take a deep breath, and as you exhale, you bring the hand to the shin, or if you can, to the foot. Turn the chest, reach the top arm, maybe look up. With an inhalation, come up, bend the right leg, and as you exhale, step. Let's go to the left. Step. Extend the left leg. Inner thigh forward, outer thigh back. Inhale, and as you exhale, lean forward. Hand to the shin. If you can, to the foot, turn the chest or to the ankle, reach the top arm, maybe look to the sky. With the inhalation, come up. Bend the left leg. As you exhale, step. Good. Let's go to the floor. And grab your belt if you think you might need it. We're going to lie on the floor. We're going to start with both legs, the soles of both feet flat on the floor, the legs bent. And then we're going to extend the left leg. And then we're going to grab the foot. If you can't find it, use an extension. And then ideally you want your shoulders to come down to the ground and your head to be resting on the ground. Keeping the left leg straight, you're going to slowly start to pull that leg a little closer towards you. Yeah? Carefully, slowly release with control. And then switch. Right leg. Grab your foot. If you can't reach, use the extension. Make sure those hips stay on the floor. And try to bring the shoulders back into the ground. Neck and face relax. Deep breaths. See that I started grabbing my foot with the belt, not just for demonstration, but because I want to take it easier, take a couple of breaths there. And then eventually I can go a little deeper. So I try as much as possible not to go into a full stretch straight away. Unless, of course, I'm really warm up, but we're not yet. And then carefully, with control, release. Don't just let the leg go. With control, bring it back. A lot of injuries come when you're coming out of a pose. Now we're going to take the leg to the side. So left leg comes up. And then you grab the leg. You can grab the foot by the big toe or the outer toe or the heel. Doesn't really matter. That's the kind of the order of what's easier. So let's start with the big toe. You want your right leg to fall. And you want your toes kind of like to point towards the floor. And both legs kind of opening. The right arm extends to the side. If you have a space, I don't. And you want to comfortably take the leg out towards the floor. Try to keep a little bit of weight on your right hip. And as you inhale, slowly with control, come back to center and release. We'll do the other side. Change direction. Grab your right foot. And then you want to rotate your leg so that the knee kind of points out. And then both legs go out, both arms go out to the side. And if you notice that left hip lifting, bring it back. Bring it back. Deep breaths. And slowly bring it back. I usually do it with an in-breath. And carefully release. Now come up. Now we separate the legs. You can lean on your hands if you want. And then rolling on your heels, you're going to take both knees to your right. Then you're going to come into this sort of position. Some people call it 90-90. Yeah, your right knee is pointing to the side and you angle the knees 90 degrees. Your left knee is pointing to that side. You have 90 degrees. And you bring both hands forward in this direction. You lift through your chest and then you breathe. If you feel like you can go down without rounding your back, then go ahead. Otherwise, staying on your hands. And with an in-breath, come up. Come back to center. Remember, rolling on your heels. Take the knees to the left. Adjust if necessary. Turn the trunk to the left. And then come in that direction on your hands. Or down on your forearms, but if you can, without rounding your back. And with an inhalation, carefully push up. Come back to center. We go to the other side. But now, as we come into the hands, we're going to extend the left leg behind. We're going to lift those hips. We're going to adjust. So the best stretch you get when you take the knee, the right knee, towards the outside of your mat, and the foot forward so the shin is parallel with the short end of your mat. If that's not possible, bring it a little closer towards your hip. Extend the back leg and see that both your hips are more or less sort of same distance from the floor. On your hands or on your forearms. Carefully fall onto your right hip so that you can undo the pose. And then again from the same position, turn. And then you come forward onto your hands, and as you lift, you extend the back leg. So I bring my foot in and extend. If it's too big of a stretch, bring your foot closer towards your hip. And try not to sink onto your right hip either. On the hands or on the forearms if you can. Long deep breaths. Carefully roll onto your right side. Bring the leg up. Good. Now we're going to sit for a second. We're going to extend the right arm to the side. We're going to rest it on the floor. We're going to extend the other arm to the sky, palm facing in, and we're going to reach. And as you reach, perhaps you can lower the forearm to the ground. And then as we reach, we're going to also turn the chest a little, like we're trying to face the chest towards the sky. And carefully come back with an in-breath. To the other side, left hand to the side, top arm extends overhead, elbow reaches towards the floor, and we sort of try to turn the chest to face the sky. Try to keep the weight on your right sitting bone. And slowly come up with an in-breath. Good. Now we're going to come to stand. We're going to separate the feet, not too wide. We're going to fold. Now stand with the right hand on the floor. We're going to twist to the left. If you find it hard to place your right hand on the floor, then hold your shin. You want to have a contact so that you can use that contact to help you twist. Right hip lifting. So as you press, right hip lifting, you're going to turn the chest. Turn the waist and the chest and extend the left arm to the sky. And maybe turn the head to the side or towards the sky as well. And as you exhale, carefully lower. Left hand to the floor, the center between your feet. Left hip lifting. Turn waist. Turn chest. Extend the right arm. Turn the head to the side or to the sky. So unless you make good contact with your hand on the floor, it's going to be hard to push, to twist. You need that contact. So if you can't do the floor, hand to the opposite shin. Slowly with an exhale, release. Then bring your feet closer and lower to your knees. Sit on your heels. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Extend the arms. Behind, roll the shoulders, lift your chest. And then as you bend the arms and bring your palms together, take your hands to your left, across to your left hip, palms touching, and the left elbow towards the right elbow. Make sure your shoulders are level, so no shoulders sinking. Take the hands to the other side. Level the shoulders, right elbow towards left elbow. And then release. So we're going to come back standing again. We're going to do that same twist from a wide standing posture. with a little bit of a twist. So the way I do this pose for me is like this. So I bend the knees and I take the left arm behind. With the right hand, I bring the hand in so that I can clasp the thigh. Take a good grip of that thigh. And then as I extend both legs, I bring the hand to the floor, the right hand to the floor. Then taking a good grip of that thigh, I'm going to twist. Reach the top shoulder behind you, behind you, behind you. Both legs as straight as you can. With an exhalation, carefully undo the pose. Back. Other side. So you bend your legs. Right hand comes behind. With the left hand, I help myself if needed. Clasp the thigh. And once you have a good grip of that thigh, left hand to the floor, extend both legs. Turn and twist. Turn the waist and the chest. Top shoulder reaching behind you. Looking to the side or maybe to the sky. Even to the floor, it's okay too. With an exhalation, slowly release. Come to sit. We're going to cross the right leg under. So the foot goes across the other side. And the knee is kind of in towards the center. The left foot comes across the other side. Sole of the foot on the floor. Hold the leg and lift your chest. And then the right arm either wraps around the leg or comes inside between the thigh and the chest. The left hand goes behind, and then you use your arms to help you turn the chest, turn the waist, and breathe. Difficult to breathe in such restricted position, as smooth as you can. With an inhalation, carefully come back. Just to the other side. Left foot comes under and across. Right foot on the other side. Just get used to the pose for a second. And then left arm wraps around the leg or comes inside. Right hand goes behind. And you use the arms to turn. And with an in-breath, carefully release. Good. Now we split the legs. And we're just going to take a little bit of time here. First, we're going to go down. So remember, try not to go down, round in your back. You will feel like you reach more. You see, I can put my forearms down already. But I'm all hunched. You want to undo that. You want to lift your chest and you want to go down from your hips. Next, grab the extension if you need. We're going to turn towards the left leg. And then the right hand, this is an option, can go on the floor, and the left hand on the floor, and right hand to the foot, the extension if you need. The left hand, which is on the floor, can help you push so that you can twist your trunk. Now go ahead, lengthen both sides of your waist, so across both sides you're nice and long, and you're going to pull yourself down. The hand which is on the floor is a good help because it gives you the support to twist. Otherwise, if you're okay, you can take both hands and grab the foot. With an inhalation, come up. Turn to the right. Left hand grabs the foot, right hand on the floor to give you a nice support for a nice twist. Both sides of the waist long, shoulders down, pull down. If you don't need that hand for that twist, then bring it to the foot. With an inhalation, come up. We're going to do that same variation where the hand comes to the thigh. So left hand goes back. With the right hand you can bring it in. So the hand clasps the thigh. Once you're there, the right hand grabs the foot or the extension. You gently pull yourself. And then you want to turn your chest. Also, like you're trying to turn the chest towards the sky. With an inhalation, come back. Now the right hand behind. Right hand goes behind. Find your thigh. Take a good clasp. Got it? And then left hand to the foot. Fold towards that left leg. Turn the chest. And with an in-breath, carefully come back. Now, if you can, see if you can go a little bit wider, perhaps. So you lift your hips, and as you reach your heels out, you bring your hips forward. Now, with an extension, if you need, we're going to go to the left first. So this is the best way the easiest way I can explain how to hold your foot. Imagine you're steering your car, so you're going to the left, so you turn left, and that's how you grab your foot. Yeah. If you can't do that, then grab your extension, and then take your left arm. I'm getting really confused. Yeah, take your right arm and cross it over your left. But you're not crossing the belt, just the arms, yeah? Take a good grip. Now the bottom arm goes in front of the leg, elbow to the floor. Now you need that contact because you're going to press the arm to the leg to help you turn, yeah? The top arm, as it bends, elbow to the sky, then you try to get your chest, your face in there, leave the top arm, reach the shoulder back, the top shoulder back, and as you do that, press with your bottom arm to turn your chest. And carefully with an in-breath. Come back. So now we're going to the right. So steering wheel, that's how you grab your foot. Or with the belt, cross your left arm over the right arm. Take a good grip of the belt or the foot. The bottom arm goes to the floor in front of the leg. And you start to press that arm against the leg, and that will help you turn. The top arm, as you bend the arm at the elbow, keep extending down the side of your body, but bend the arm. Keep extended, but bend the arm. It's like you're still extended, but now you're reaching out through your elbow. Elbow to the sky, and then slowly start to twist. Turn the trunk to the sky. It's almost like you're trying to face your chest to the ceiling. And then with the inhalation, slowly come back. Just a little tip, when you're here and you're trying to turn, keep the side of the body nice and long. So if I bend my arm, it's like I'm still trying to extend out through the elbow. Yeah, so you're still getting nice and long, and then you have some space to turn. Yeah. Carefully come out of the pose. Now we come into hands and knees. I'll just show you this side first. Then we're going to step the left foot outside of the hand. So the arm is inside of the leg. And then we're going to lift the knee. We're going to slide the foot forward. Back. We're going to settle the knee back again on the floor. So for this one, you want your knee to track over your heel, more or less. And then we're here on the hands. We're going to take a few breaths. Now there's a few things you can do in this pose. First, you roll onto the blade of your foot to take your leg out to the side. How far? We'll see how far you can go. Maybe you can go into the forearms. Then carefully come back. Another thing you can do here is just take a little step with your right hand, and with your left hand reach back and grab your foot. If you can't grab your foot, it's okay. You can use an extension too, and then very gently pull the foot. And at the same time, turn the chest. So I like to grab my foot from the outside because it helps me open up the shoulders a little bit more. So there's a turning action, a twisting action, pulling. You can also do this on your forearm. And then carefully, with control, release. Now here in the hands, we have the option of going onto your forearms, of course. If you can't go fully onto the forearms, so what you do is you step your hands forward. You can still go maybe halfway only. Or maybe the right elbow goes to the floor only, and then the left elbow stays off the ground. With time, you will be able to reach it there, with time. Carefully go into your hands. You can bring that right knee back. so that you can take your foot back. Now let's do the other side. Right foot on the hands, lift your knee and slide your foot back. Once you get a good extension, then set your knee back on the floor, and on the hands, take a couple of deep breaths. Now the first variation we did on the other side was to let the leg fall out, the right leg, which you may also be able to do on your forearms. Coming back. The other variation we did was grabbing the foot at the back, so maybe stepping forward with the left hand and grabbing the foot at the back. And then doing a little twist also. And back to center on the hands or on the forearms. Carefully come back, bring the back leg a little closer to the front so that you can step your front foot back. Just take a second here. If you're ready, we might be able to go a little deeper. So left foot forwards. Now here, you want to keep your left foot where it is, lift your back knee and kind of slide the whole body a little bit further back so the knee kind of moves back behind the heel. And then from here, we try to fold and bring the left arm under the leg. With your left hand on your calf, you may be able to carefully tuck your shoulder under the leg and the forehead towards the floor. Carefully come back. Bring the whole pose forward so you can undo it. And then take your right leg forward. And then you want to keep your foot there, move the whole body back so your knee is kind of behind your heel. And then you lean forward. And you try to tuck that shoulder under the leg. And the forehead carefully towards the floor. And carefully come up. Just take a second there. Now we're going to repeat that warrior position we did before. So come to the right side of the mat. Then take a big step. Front the right leg bend. Then we're going to take the right hand to the floor. The top arm is going to reach behind. The bottom arm, similar action, try to get that arm under the leg. And then with the palm facing away from you, bring the arm up. Clasp your hands. Bring the hips towards the line of your heels, so the line formed by your heels, and turn your chest in the direction of the sky. Carefully come back. I'm just going to do the back towards you, so that you can see different angle. Hand towards the floor, the other arm towards the sky. The top arm reaches back. The bottom arm comes under the leg, palm away from you. Clasp your hands. Bring your hips in towards the center of the mat. Turn the chest as if to face it towards the sky. Carefully come back and out. Take a seat. Cracking. Just take a couple of moments here. I'm going to stand up. Now we're going to start with the feet a little wider than your hips, or say to the width of your mat. And then you're going to bend the knees, kind of sink your hips down. So we're still doing that principle of bringing the arm under the leg. So you're going to take the left arm under the thigh, closer towards your knee, then towards your groin. Closer towards your knee, then towards your groin. You're going to reach back. Then you're going to bring the back of your hand towards your hip. The top arm with the belt, if you need. You're going to reach back. You're going to grab the belt or the top, or you're going to clasp your hands. From here, we want to stay close where we are kind of like glued to that leg by the action of the arms. As we extend the legs, we want to turn the torso in the direction of the sky. The left leg might not be completely extended, that's okay. With practice, you'll get there. And slowly release. Now we'll do the right arm. Change angles so that you can perhaps see a little bit or a little differently. You sink your hips, you take your arm under the leg, closer towards your knee and towards your groin, back of the palm towards your butt, the top arm with the belt if needed. You clasp your hands, you grab the cloth, and then slowly, as you extend, you turn the chest in the direction of the sky. carefully release. Now we come to sit on the floor and we lie on the back. So with the feet on the floor, we take the knee to your chest and then we move the knee away from us and then we grab the foot and we bring it up so the heel is over the knee. This is the first variation. Here you can also reach the knee to the floor and let it actually touch the floor. Your right hip will lift off the ground. That's okay. Or you can keep your hip on the ground and continue to reach. The next option is left arm is free, comes inside. Then you lift, and then you bring the hand to the back of your leg. And then you want to try and get that leg behind. My arm is now on top of the leg. With the arm bent, I can keep the leg in place. I want to try and go a little bit further, perhaps I can get the leg to come closer to that shoulder. Then, keeping the leg there, the palm of the hand to the floor, and the back of the hand towards your butt. And now I'm going to sit on the hand. So I lean, and you stay here for a few breaths. Now, if you want to go further, holding the foot or holding the belt, if you want to hold the belt, then let's just do it. So, foot goes on the belt. Sorry, the other way around. Belt goes on the foot. Get your leg behind. Bring the back of the hand to the butt. Sit on it. And then remember, as you bend the top arm, which is holding the foot, at the elbow, keep extending across your right side and start to turn your chest away from that bent leg. And then slowly start to extend the leg. And then slowly. Let's do the other side. Right knee in. And then out. Towards the side, grab your foot. I'm going to put the belt, my foot already there. And then you grab your foot with both your hands, and then you reach the knee towards the floor. I like to do both these versions, keeping the hips on the ground, reach the knee, or maybe just lean and go ahead and take that knee all the way to the floor. And then from that position, try to let that left hip go down, go down, go down. Next step will be to have your right arm free and bring it inside and bring the arm over to the leg and try to slowly take it further, but carefully, further, further so that the arm goes out completely. Then I take the back of the hand to the butt behind, then I sit on it. And then holding the belt or the foot, slowly start to extend the leg. And you want the trunk to turn sort of away from that leg towards the sky, and the side of the body, of the left side of the body also extending, the side of the arm extending. And carefully release. Take a moment to relax. Now let's come up to stand. Wide stance, not too wide. If it's too wide, it's going to be difficult. So not too wide. And for those who need it, the belt goes on your left shin. I'm going to get my foot inside. So you start from a forward fold. Left hand first, grab your calf. And then right arm, grab your calf or your belt. With the belt it will be easier. Now from here, remember bending the arm and getting a long stretch on the side of the torso. So both hands across. The right arm is in front, and then you start to bend the arm and turn the trunk towards the sky. And slowly release. To the other side. Right hand first, left hand second. Because I need a really good grip. Even though I can touch the leg, it's hard to get a grip. A good grip. So with this, I have a really good grip. So right arm first, and then left arm, or left arm on top. And then you start to turn. And you want to get your head inside. Nice extension across the side. Twist, twist, twist. Pull with both arms. And slowly release. And we come to sit. Just take a moment to rest. Now it's time for the pose, for the final pose. Belt, if you need. So we'll do right leg in the air. So comfortably sitting with the left leg bent. I'm going to put the foot straight into the belt, straight into that foot. Then we're going to grab the foot with both hands. And this is a really good warm-up. You want to bring your leg across and then the knee behind, 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 behind. When it goes behind, take your right arm in front and upper arm already goes into the hamstring. From here, again slowly, try and mount your leg up onto your shoulder. If it helps, lean into your left hip so your right sitting bone lifts off the floor. Try and pop it up. From here, left hand holds the foot. I hold the outside of the foot. You can hold the big toe. Try to keep that arm, that leg behind up onto the shoulder, and then hand to the floor. And then the right hand pushes the leg back, and then you try to turn the chest towards the sky. And then slowly start to extend the leg. Get a nice extension across your left side so it gets nice and long. And slowly release. Perhaps you could see me trembling there. That's because it is a really hard pose for me. Take a break. I need it. Then we'll do the other side. Right leg on the floor. You grab your left foot. Cradle it. Remember, you want that knee to go back. To go back. And then what I do is I take the hand to the outside of the foot, the right hand, and then I bring the arm, left arm in front. But you can also grab the big toe. It's just sometimes I find it's when I'm pulling too hard, it's too much on the toe. I feel like I might just like pull it off. So, like this, keep cradling, and every time you cradle, try to tug the arm further in front of the leg, and try to bring your leg further up onto the shoulder. And one thing that I found that helps me is just to lean onto that right sitting bone and to leave that left sitting bone off the floor. You get a better lift. And then once you find that it's as close, as far in as you can, then you place the hand on the floor and you keep pushing. If you don't push, the leg is going to come down, it's going to ease out, and then start to extend. You're not just extending the leg, you're extending the right side of your torso, getting a good stretch on the arm too, and you're twisting, trying to twist away from that leg, chest towards the sky, slowly extending. And slowly release. Just take a moment here. And just like after any other practice, I always recommend that you relax in your back. At least a minute if you don't have time, but you will really enjoy it more if you try to rest for 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes. Just relaxing deeply and guiding your attention to the movement of your breath. Just sort of allowing every exhalation to ease out the tension.